What's up, guys? Welcome to the March 30th edition of On Deck. Today we have two really cool guests. The first one we're going to bring on is a kid named Canaan Bower. You guys probably don't know the name, but you probably did see him in the news. He was the young man out of New Mexico who, with no hesitation, a lot of courage, went and took down the kidnapper and pinned it for 5 minutes till the cops got there. So we're going to catch up with him. And then after that, I'm going to interview Stephen Neal. Stephen obviously was an NCAA champion twice. He's a Hodge winner, world champion in 1999, and then went on to play for the New England Patriots. So let's get right into the show. I'll bring Canaan on first. What's up, guys? I'm here with Canaan Bower. Canaan, how you doing today?
Good, and you?
I'm doing pretty well. I mean, obviously, I think you'd be doing better too if you didn't have this quarantine thing going on, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Do you have any brothers and sisters there?
I got one older brother.
Oh, so you're the only child at home then, probably right now, right?
Yeah, right now I am.
Oh man, yeah, it's tough. I got three little kids here, so it's tough keeping them busy all day. So, how have the last 5 days been? Because I got to imagine it's been pretty crazy for you.
Yeah, it's been pretty, I don't know, kind of overwhelming with all the people that's been texting me and my parents and everything,
Sure.
trying to get in contact with me.
Yeah, and are you on social media? Like, have you been getting hit up on there also?
Yeah, I have everywhere, my social medias, my parents' social medias, everyone's, my girlfriend and
Yeah.
people that like everyone else who knows me, blowing up.
Is it all good, or is there some bad stuff in there too?
So far, it's all been pretty good. It's all been good comments. No, like people against me, really.
Yeah. Well, that's all. I mean, that's awesome. So I guess let's just talk about the incident first, and I want to talk about your wrestling after that. I think what everyone is so impressed with is how you did. There was no hesitation. You just went for it. You snatched the door open. You go snatch a dude, throw him on the ground, hold him down. What was going through your head right there? Because most people say they'll do something like this in a situation like that, but most people very, very rarely would.
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't really. There was a lot of thoughts going on in my head, but at the same time, there wasn't. Like I knew what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
But also I had all these thoughts like, does he have a knife? Does he have a gun?
Sure.
What's going on still?
Yeah.
Because I really didn't know what was happening at the time. I just knew that something wasn't like bad and that they were screaming to get that guy.
Yeah. So did you see it start, or cause I'm assuming you were in the parking lot, right? That's what they said.
I was across the street getting gas.
Okay.
It's two gas stations, and they're both across the street from each other.
Yeah.
They were at the one across the street, and I was just getting gas, and I heard like screams.
Mm-hmm.
So that I was about to get in my truck, and that's what caught my attention. So I looked over, and she kept screaming, and I could see that she was like avoiding him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
sure.
she was like kind of chasing after her.
Yep.
And I just got in my truck, and I was over there.
Uh-huh. And they busted in there, took him down, and then
Yeah.
So how long did you have to hold him down before the cops came?
I don't know. It was probably like 5 minutes.
Wow. Dang.
Someone said longest pin in history.
That's probably true, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So, how long ago did you start wrestling?
This was my second year at wrestling.
Okay. Do you play a lot of sports then?
Yeah, I have over my life. I've played everything, but mostly football is what I've been playing. But I stopped playing because I was doing wrestling and football.
Sure.
And last year I chose wrestling over football, so I could just dedicate myself to that, focus on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I made that decision when I was a freshman in high school. I don't know what you were, but I decided that I was going all in on the wrestling. And there's just something that's really addictive about it. I don't know if you feel that same way. I just loved it.
It's great. I love the environment mostly. Like everyone, it's not like any other sport I've ever done. It's everyone, regardless of what school you go to, is like a family.
Sure. Yeah.
Like we're all connected. We're all like cool with each other. Like we're all friends, and we'll help each other with different moves and stuff.
Uh-huh. Do you guys have a club down there besides your high school program? Is there like a club that you guys all go to or something?
I think there is a couple programs
Uh-huh.
for like kids and all kinds of other stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't do them.
Okay.
I
Cool.
just do it through school.
Yeah, yeah. So, what is there? Is there something about wrestling that you think, and maybe this is just who you are, right? You're just brave and bold, way more brave than most people. That helped you make that decision so quick. That said, okay, this lady needs help. I'm gonna go get this dude. Is there something from wrestling that you think brought that out in you, or have you always been bold like that?
I think it's a little bit of both. Like I think I would have done it regardless.
Yeah,
But this wrestling definitely gave me a little bit more confidence, in myself.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, cool. Well, is there anything else you want to tell us about?
No, that's all I got.
Who's your favorite college wrestling team?
Favorite college wrestling team?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say the Highlands because that's the only one in New Mexico.
Okay, there you
So,
go. Nice. Nice. That's awesome. Okay, well, we appreciate you coming on with us today. Commend you for your bravery because, yeah, I mean, I know you kind of feel like it was second nature to you, but I could tell you 98 out of 100 guys aren't going to go do that, and you went and you changed someone's life. So thank you for that. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, you got it, bud. Hopefully we cross paths sometime in the future.
Sounds good. Take care.
See ya. All right, that was fun talking to Canaan. I think he doesn't quite realize the amount of courage it took to do what he did. I mean, I don't think a lot of people in that same situation would make that decision. They might call the cops, but he opened that door so boldly. If you guys haven't watched that film, go check it out. It's pretty cool. And so that was awesome to get to talk to him and give him a little shine for what he did because it was such a fantastic act. So let's get Stephen Neal on the line now. Guys, I'm going to tell you guys first though. Stephen Neal was one of my absolute favorite wrestlers when I was in high school. He won the NCAAs in 98 and 99, so that would have been my freshman and sophomore year of high school. He won the world championships. I remember being so depressed when he lost in the Olympic trials in 2000 to Kerry McCoy, and I know obviously I'm going to have to bring that match up, but I don't really want to because I was sad. I'm sure he was more sad. And then he went on to a great career with the New England Patriots. So let's bring him in now. What's up, guys? I am here with Stephen Neal. Stephen, how you doing today?
Doing fantastic. Enjoying this time with the family, self-isolating, having fun.
Good. So we talked on the phone for a little bit last Friday, and I withheld this information for you. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
You were my favorite wrestler when I was in high school.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So, when Matt proposed that I would get the interview today, I was really excited because probably when I was 14, so like 1998, that was when I really got into wrestling and stuff. I'd wrestled before that, but I got into it, started following it. So obviously, 98, you win an NCAA title. 99, you won an NCAA title. 99, you won a world title. So I got to watch, you do all those things. So it's pretty awesome that I get to talk to you today.
Well, cool. It was a fun time. I wasn't very good a couple years before that, so I'm glad you came when you did. Got to see me wrestle some good matches, not the bad ones.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess so. I just tried to do some research. Obviously I remember watching you wrestle. I don't really watch football. I'm aware of what you did, but I read your Wikipedia, and there was one thing that really stuck out to me, and that's most high schools want kids to be 3-sport athletes now, which, I'm in the middle on. I'd like to get your opinion. But you varsited in 5 high school sports, and I don't even know how that's possible.
Well, the school I went to is downtown San Diego.
Okay.
And so a lot of people there were interested in other things besides sports, like, gang activity and all kinds of stuff. So I was actually a minority at my school. I think it was about 15% white kids there at school. And there's a heavy Hispanic, African-American presence. And so just for people to stay eligible was hard enough. So there was a lot of openings in all the sport teams. And my dad was a PE major, and I played all kinds of sports with my brothers. And so I just loved playing sports. I actually swam because my brother had a car, and he'd give me a ride home, so I didn't have to ride my bike home. So I went to swim practice just to get a ride home.
Oh, so he was on the swim team.
He was on the swim team, so I joined. Just so I can get a ride home. Yeah, so I did tennis as a freshman, I did volleyball for a little bit because my younger brother was playing that, and then I did track and field because I was a senior. Just wanted something during that time.
And then, so obviously you excelled at wrestling and football. And was there one more on there too that I'm forgetting about, or no?
Yeah, wrestling, football were the two ones I did 4 years, and then the springtime I just did all kinds of other things.
Oh, got it. Yeah, that's pretty rare that you hear of someone playing 5 different high school sports and earning a varsity letter. That's very, very unique.
Well, it wasn't very good at the other ones, but they're just better. So,
I guess that's a good excuse. Have you ever? So this is funny that we're going to this topic. This is one of my favorite topics. Have you ever read David Epstein, not Jeffrey Epstein's book called Range?
No.
Okay, so you should check it out. It's all about kids who, there's so much of people trying to force kids into playing one sport nowadays. And obviously, I run a wrestling academy. I'm not from a young age, but say like 12, 13, 14, I'm not opposed to a kid saying I want to wrestle you around. But we try never to push that issue on the kids. Where do you fall on that spectrum? Because obviously, with you playing all these sports, I could see you having a whole bunch of different perspectives on, what's best for kids' development.
Well, I think the more sports you're exposed to, the better it is, because I think you can learn so many different things from the different sports. You talk about swimming. What can you learn from swimming to help you wrestle? Well, when you're swimming, you can't breathe every second you want. So you have to learn how to pace, regulate your breathing, a lot of that kind of stuff. Baseball, I didn't even think about this, but I was watching a Wayne Gretzky special, and he said it really taught him the situations, understanding the surroundings, where the people are lined up, what the pitch count is. So you get something from baseball. Basketball, jumping high, using your hands up in the air, that'd be a good for a wide receiver. Wrestling is so good for football because you learn how to tackle someone with a takedown. Yeah. You learn how to change levels, pad level, they call it. Hand fighting, get your hands inside so you can control someone. So, I think the more sports you're exposed to, the better off you're going to be. And it's going to help you not burn out in one thing or the other, or have overuse injuries like the Tommy John elbow for baseball players. So I think the more, the better. And when I was a kid, my brothers and I, we always kind of used to have a competition on who could get more trophies from different sports. So that was kind of something, I got a medal in track, just because no one showed up, but I still got a medal, so we kind of had a little silent competition for all the different sports we could try to compete in.
Well, you set yourself up for this one then. I have to ask, because you told me the other day on the phone that you played disc golf. Did any of you or your brothers ever get a disc golf trophy?
No, we never did. I think the culture over here might be different from the Midwest. I think the only thing they my dad plays, so I think the only thing they prize money out here is in it's in green currency and not money. So we'd go out there and there'd be all kinds of different smells and people pass stuff around. We just wanted to go have fun. So no, we never got a trophy.
No, that's
but I always enjoyed playing.
Yeah, I think that same culture, unfortunately, is pretty nationwide. With my hair and the way I dress, very casual. I got stopped by a handful of cops at disc golf parks accusing me of something. Listen, dude, I don't do anything. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. I don't drink. Leave me alone. But yeah, they said, we know what you disc golfers do. I probably got stopped 3 or 4 times for something like that. Oh man.
Yeah, it's a great sport. You're out walking and you can. It's funny with beginners, as you probably know, from the very first hole to the 18th hole, they're so much better.
Oh yeah.
And then you don't have to pay for most places, or it's a very limited price. So it's a great activity just to be outside and bending those discs how you want them is a lot of fun as well. I'm not nowhere near as good as you are, never have been, but I always had a good time walking around with friends and family.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's where I got into it. I wasn't good in the beginning, but a lot of my college teammates played. And, social, our team, I don't know about your team at college, but our team was always really close. We did a whole bunch of things together, and that's kind of just went out to hang out with my friends, and eventually I got hooked. And then once I got hooked, I was I was all in.
Yeah, learning techniques and all that kind of stuff. And you're like, how can you do that? How can you throw it like this? And So it was all, we only had a couple courses in Bakersfield, but we'd go out and play a little bit. But yeah, we always did activities together too. College was so much fun. Get those bonds with your teammates, so never break.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so let's go high school. You obviously excelled in wrestling, but California is really, really tough. I think you've placed 4th as a senior, right? And then maybe
Correct.
Did you do well at some freestyle and Greco tournaments later this summer, or how did you end up getting recruited to Bakersfield?
So I started wrestling in 9th grade. Someone challenged me that was harder than football. I walked out and I was terrible. So I just got beat up my freshman year, but wouldn't give the guy the satisfaction that it was tougher. So I waited until the very end. I got I got an award. Oh, here it is. Hold on. It's kind of funny. So I got this little award. I tried to give it to the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, but I don't think they appreciated what it stood for me. But see if I can show it.
Yes. The most improved. There we go.
And they spelled my name wrong with the V, which is cool.
Oh, I can't see that. It was really shiny.
Yeah. But I got that, and I was thinking about not coming back because it was way harder than I wanted to do it. But my dad challenged me to stick with it, and then I didn't win a match so I won a few varsity matches, but I didn't win a match into CIF, which gets you going to state until my junior year. And
wow,
so my junior year
really?
I excelled, and then my senior year I got better. But the reason I went to Bakersfield, the head of San Diego Freestyle Wrestling, his son, Rich Bailey, he was coaching up there. So I went to go watch him, and I wanted to compete at Division I level. I've never heard of Bakersfield because they don't have a football team.
Okay.
And so I went up there. I saw them compete against Fresno State, and they went out there and they wrestled tough. There was people in the stands, which by high school there was about 6 people, parents in the stands. So it was kind of cool environment. And then I took 4th, and the coach recruited me because he saw that I had no skill, but I had a lot of will, and he figured he could teach me the skills. So I went to Bakersfield redshirt, and they taught me everything I needed to know, and nice. I just loved it up there. Having the technique and having situational practices, all that kind of stuff really helped me to improve quickly.
Well, so let me take a step back here, because you said you played all kinds of sports when you were a kid, but you said you didn't start wrestling until you were in 9th grade. What winter sport did you play prior to that, and how did they let you go?
Oh, so no, when I was growing up, there was no club stuff really. So you'd play soccer, you'd play t-ball. But the sports I was playing with my brothers. So my dad would take us, we'd play racquetball. We'd play tennis. We'd go home run derby, just us. My mom's her family's from South Dakota. So she has, there's 9 of them.
Okay.
Brothers and sisters. So we were always out there playing softball, basketball, whatever it may be. So my dad, he played basketball for Maryland. So I was always playing basketball.
University of Maryland?
Yeah, my father, yeah.
Wow.
So basketball, we were always playing that, having fun. And that's probably what I would have done if that one guy, Ross Matthews was his name, if he didn't ask me to try wrestling and challenge me, I probably would have done basketball.
So did you have a middle school basketball team?
No, middle school, we had nothing.
Really?
Like I said, yeah, inner city.
Wow, okay.
In San Diego, there's no sports programs until you get to high school.
Cause that's what I was having a hard time. I was imagining, you're probably pretty good at middle school basketball, and the high school or the freshman coaches, they're going to be all over you. They're never ever going to let you quit basketball. Yeah, the sport. We had a lot of good athletes at our high school. But there was no discipline. There was no organization. Yeah. So actually, marathon legend guy Mabroth, they call Meb. We went to Meb Kefleski. I've heard of him.
We went to school together. There's a baseball player, Jock Jones. He was our quarterback, but then they said he couldn't play defensive back, so he just played DB. Played baseball for USC, won a gold medal for the Olympics. We had a lot of great athletes, just no organization, structure, or discipline at our high school. So that was another thing when I got to higher levels of sport. I really appreciated that accountability for everyone, the discipline, the teamwork, the organization. That's something I thrived in because I always wanted that. And never got it where I was going to school.
For sure. So then my second question before we get to Bakersfield is, were you recruited also for football?
I was not. So
really? Wow.
Not for Division I. There's a couple of Division II schools. So I was same height I am now, 6'4" and a little bit more. And I was about 200 pounds. So I was wrestling 190 in the freestyle thing, and it'd probably be about 205, 210. After a football game, you lose 10 pounds.
Yep.
so be going up and down, wrestling 220, 195, whatever it was at the time. And I didn't have any interest. And I was also young, too. I graduated at 17, October birthday.
Oh, October?
So, yeah.
Oh, God. I never heard of anyone that young. I was July, so I graduated at 17, but mine was a July birthday. And
okay.
It's very rare to hear someone younger than me. Geez, you were like 17 and a half only. Wow.
Yeah, so I was in college. I had to get faxed permission slips to see the doctor for a couple of weeks, until I got turned to 18.
Wow.
But that's why the red shirt helped me a lot too, because I was able to develop the strength and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, football didn't recruit me, and then 6 years later, I get invited, and somehow my body's good enough for football. So
yeah,
if that's not a indictment on the sport of wrestling, I don't know what. So.
I always get kind of annoyed. Now I'm going to tangent here, and you know way more about me than football, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like even the smartest GMs and coaches in football, they pick so much on body size and what a guy looks like. And I'm not going to mention a name, but there was a Big 12 quarterback while I was in college, and he was terrible, but he was gigantic. He could throw the ball far, and it was like obvious watching him. This guy's not good at playing quarterback. But for some reason, they draft him to the NFL, and they think, okay, we're going to be able to make him good. I just feel like the GMs and the coaches are so stuck on what a body should look like, and then obviously that passes down to the college ranks. Do you feel that same thing, or no?
I'd agree 100%, because as you know, in our sport of wrestling, there's that intangible called desire. And that's where I think the Patriots do a good job getting guys.
Sure.
Like, if you're just trying to get money, your desire for playing, the love of the game is not there. You're just trying to get a big contract. So you start saying things like, I want to be the highest paid guy, and you're on the Patriots, you're going to end up in a different place.
Really?
Because they want guys that want to win.
Yeah.
And so, think about that. Oh, I want everyone to think I'm the best and get paid the most. Well, I don't want you. I want the people who want to have that DNA to be a champion inside, and they're willing to do whatever it takes. Those are and I'm sure with the wrestling clubs, you see that those kids that they don't look shiny, they don't look brand new, but they go out there and they get it done, they grind, and they find a way to win, and those are the kind of guys you want. In football, that's why so many people get it wrong. A lot of organizations are screwed up for so long because they have people that are looking at the wrong pieces. I think.
I guess the Patriots didn't they have a bunch of like really tiny receivers that ended up being really good?
So they found a good role for them. So just like my kids play basketball, and sometimes it's kind of hard to watch because they have they have a skill set. Yeah. And if you're not playing under that skill set, it'd be like if I was going to go wrestle a short, chubby guy and try to go Greco. I don't know any throws, but I could double this guy out the building. Yeah. So why don't I just do that? Yeah. So I think if you know your personnel, you know what they can do, and you develop something that makes them successful. Sure. That's what the Patriots try to do, have the best game plan week to week, which might differ based on injuries. And so they usually do pretty well that way.
Yeah. Yeah. They've had, were you sad when Tom Brady just left?
I was a little confused, just because I know in his DNA, he wants to win no matter what. Yeah. And he must feel like he can win in Tampa Bay to go there. Mm-hmm. But there's so much more than just being a quarterback. You need to protect him as far as offensive line. Yeah. If he gets banged up a little bit, you're a lot younger than I am, but 35, you don't heal as much as you do when you're 42, 43 like he is. Yeah. So you get rocked a couple times. I don't know how well you bounce back. So there's a lot of things in football. That's what I loved about football is you have 11 guys on your team on your side of the ball right there, and then there's against 11 other guys, and it's a different deal. It's not just us two. I got to know what everyone's doing. I got to be careful out there. A lot of injuries. Yeah, so many people.
For sure. Yeah, Man, I love combative stuff, obviously, but I think about playing football. Damn, that's dangerous.
Yeah, getting hit in the knee, you're not even seeing it, the back.
Seriously.
But it's fun. You're padded up. You can hit people. When you get to hit people, that's a lot of fun. But just getting hit in the side, not seeing it coming, kind of sucks.
Okay, so let's go back to I got ADHD, so I've been all over the place, and this is I'm having fun at least. I hope
Sorry,
you are.
I'm probably taking you all over the place. My fault.
No, that's my fault. I'm all over the place. Okay, so you get to Bakersfield. You were, fourth in the state, so not, say, a blue chip guy by any sense of the imagination. You mentioned that obviously you got bigger and stronger as your freshman. You were really young going into college. What else about the college wrestling helped you excel? Because obviously, and I always try to point this out, but for you, it's like extraordinary. You won a world title after your senior year of college. And, 5 years prior to that, you didn't win a high school state title. So the amount of growth you made in those 5 years is truly outstanding. What exactly was it about Bakersfield that allowed you to do that?
Well, we had a very competitive room. My coach, our head coach, Coach Kerr, he assembled a good group of guys, big guys in there.
Uh-huh.
We had a guy, Jason Froelich, and he was probably, in my opinion, one of the best guys to never be an All-American. This guy was always ranked second, third. He'd go to the tournament, and then just something would happen. He was more of a defensive guy.
Yeah.
So you get down by one, he couldn't make it up. Mm-hmm. But so he was there. That was my redshirt year. We had a guy, Pascal Giroux, who couldn't beat Froelich, but he took second my freshman year.
Okay.
We had a guy, Derek Scott. He took sixth at 177. Our workout partner coach, Daryl Pope, he took second at in 1987 in 167, and this guy was just impossible to score on. So he was in there, and we were just all banging every day. So we had a really tough room for the upper weights, and so going in there as a freshman, all the bad fake wrestling I was doing, diving in, laying on my belly, that's not different. So I had to kind of learn how to wrestle. So I really focused on the technique. I worked on situations, and that's one thing that helped me out the most is understanding the situations when you're attacking. Like, okay, I can't let this guy get his hips out. I can't go to my belly. I got to at least get on my knees, try to get to his ankle, get hip to hip, get his weight off me. So I learned how to finish bad shots. So then I wasn't afraid to take shots, bad, any kind of shot on the big guy, because I felt like I was safe. And then I just, like I said, in that wrestling room, we just banged every day, and I was able to improve. And it's so easy when your competition is harder in practice than in actual meets.
Yeah.
I think you see Penn State, you see Iowa, these guys have hammers in the room. They just get to have the day off. Oh, it's the day off. Let's go to the Big Ten's day off. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So did you bulk up to, and even in your red, I know your whole college career where your matches kind of were heavyweight, did you bulk up immediately as a red shirt, or did you stay at 190 pounds?
So throughout that season, I ended up getting up to about 100 or my senior year, I got up to about 210 pounds, 215.
Okay.
And then the next year I redshirted, lost a lot of baby fat, put on some muscle. So my first year at Nationals, I was about 225.
Oh, cool.
Then my next year at Nationals, I was 235, and then 250, then 260 as a senior. So a little bit each and every year, just trying to put weight on. And my Coach Kerr would get mad at me because I was a real active guy. And so quit shooting baskets before practice. You can't be wasting your energy, and you got to try to eat as much calories as you can and pack the weight on. So tried to not do as many extracurricular activities as I was doing, and then the weight kind of got on a little bit easier. Still slow.
Yeah. I know my college coach, we had a heavyweight national champion named Mark Ellis, and he had the same issue where he was struggling to get bigger, and I believe Coach Smith one year banned him from doing a bunch of the runs that we were doing because he thought it was contributing to him losing too much weight.
Yeah, we actually had a similar situation. Coach told me, he's like, here's the deal. Because we had a 3-mile run we did 3 times a week. He said, here's the deal. I'm going to let you only sprint you're going to run a mile if you can weigh over 200. This is my junior year. If you weigh every weigh and you're over 250 pounds, you only run a mile. If you go below that, I'm going to make you run 6 miles. So it's kind of a stupid threat, empty threat, but I took it serious. And every weigh in, I made sure I was like 250.1 or 251. Yeah, just so I didn't have to run those extra miles. But that was a similar deal as you guys heavyweight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's when you're. I mean, for most people, obviously, on the college wrestling team, they're trying to either maintain and or lose the weight, right? And so you're expending so many calories. Obviously, for a big guy, if you want to put on weight, then you got to kind of do the opposite to a certain extent.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. Was Mark Ellis, would he run hard and push himself?
Oh, yeah. Yep. 100%.
Yeah. So a lot of heavyweights don't really run that hard. So it's kind of, well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
sure.
I was the same way. I ran as hard as I could, and you get so much stronger and better shape, well conditioned when you push yourself hard every single opportunity you get. And because he was doing that, I think it probably helped him gain weight by not going as far.
Yeah.
Definitely did for me.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so let's talk about your senior year. You win the national titles. This is kind of when I start following you. I remember the match. So obviously, in your era, it is significantly harder to watch any wrestling matches. So I'm not saying like I watched every one of your matches. I probably caught every one that I could. I remember you crushing Trent Heenick in the NCAA finals as a junior. And then obviously your match your senior year with Brock Lesnar was fairly iconic, right?
Yeah, so the situation was, I think sometimes it's lost in just the one match because that was the first year of Sanderson, so he knocks off Brandon Agam.
Yep.
Where if Brandon Agam wins, then Minnesota's the team champion, and so then it came down to over Iowa. Yeah. So,
I don't remember that. What is 1999 or 98?
99. So it came down to Lesnar and I. If Lesnar wins, Minnesota wins the team championship, and then Iowa takes second. If I win, Iowa wins. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, he's going to be. If I was in that situation, he's going to be coming. So we wrestle. I shoot in there. He sprawls. He shoots in. I get a takedown. I get the lead, and I'm waiting for him to come. Yeah. He's going to come to win a championship in Minnesota, and he never comes. And so it's kind of a very boring match compared to most of the matches I wrestled.
Yeah.
Throughout my career. And kind of at the time I didn't think anything of it, but then looking back now, it's like, man, I wish I would have gone out there and pushed myself, but I didn't. So
yeah. Okay. The other thing I noticed about your senior year, I thought I had for modern era the most pins in a season, but you had 31, which is more than me. Were you always a pin?
Two.
Who didn't you pin?
In the quarterfinals, the North Carolina kid, the coach defaulted. The
Why?
Nationals finals.
Like didn't even wrestle at all, or was there something and then he defaulted?
Well, he shook hands and they blew the whistle and then said it's over.
Dang.
So he continued to wrestle. I'm like, are you serious? I'm trying to get the Gregorian Award, and I came up one short. I tech-followed the guy from Illinois in the semis, but I couldn't pin him.
Okay.
And so if I could have pinned the North Carolina kid, I could have won it. And then obviously I didn't pin Lesnar.
Yeah.
But
dang. Did he wrestle back, or was he just done? Like, did he done?
No. We had to shake hands so that he could keep wrestling. If they would have that's why they blew the whistle. And then it turns out, in hindsight, 4 years later, he never All-Americaned. And it's like, well, that's what the coach. I blame the coach for doing that to the kid.
Yeah.
But, I'm sorry to bring up old. I'm still mad.
That's good. That's really funny. Oh man, I don't think I ever had that happen in college. I don't believe. Okay, what was your? So obviously your transition to freestyle went really well. You won a world title that year. I don't really remember you having either a lot of freestyle success before that, or maybe you just didn't even really compete. I'm not really sure. So prior to '99, had you done a lot of freestyle in Greco at all?
Yeah, so I started doing the freestyle. I didn't really do Greco very much.
Okay.
I have a good Greco story though. But I started freestyle after my sophomore year in high school of wrestling because I needed some kind of more. I needed more experience, and so I kind of learned takedowns and the point system. The point system, as you know, has changed so much.
Sure.
But I think when I was wrestling, it was like a 5-minute period back then. Still 1 points, 5-point throws. But then, so I ended up my senior year. I ended up winning 220 junior nationals that summer, and then I continued to wrestle international, but not. I took third in the Olympic trials in '96 because no one showed up. Because
wow.
Baumgartner was still competing, so you had Baumgartner, Erickson, and no one else. So I ended up taking third.
Wait, are you serious? No one showed up at the Olympic trials?
Well, no, there was a few people, but I'm just saying
they weren't very good.
And they just a lot of guys. They like, well, I can't beat Bruce, so I'm going to go into a different area of work. So, so I was able to take third.
So they quit. That's good. That's good.
I mean, if you can't beat the guy, so so I ended up taking third there, and then I didn't really compete in the trials. I'd go to the U.S. Open every year, but I didn't go to the trials until 1999.
Okay.
So I think I took third in 96, and then I might have been I was in the top six. There's Tully Thompson, Kerry McCoy, and then so then I ended up beating those guys in 99.
So how good was Tom Erickson? You remember how good he was? Everyone always forgets about Tom Erickson because he could never get past Bruce, but Tom Erickson was the real deal.
Oh man, he's so strong. I mean, he actually taught me if you shoot in like this, it's a problem. You got to get your arms in. Because he would just catch me and throw me, and watch some old film. He would just throw that one arm on his leg and just wait for me to shoot and just wham. So I mean, he could have been an Olympic champ too if there was two spots for Americans, and he got through. So he was very, very tough. Still is, I imagine.
Yeah, I see him every once in a while. Do you ever have you ever watched him fight mixed martial arts, Tom?
I remember back in the day where he would do some grappling, and he scared the crap out of him. In '96, we're at the Olympic training camps, and he's like, "Hey, let's do some of this stuff." And it's like, man, I would not want to be in the ring with this guy. But I saw a couple things so powerful.
Oh yeah,
and just dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, he's just like so powerful looking. So I always think I fought right, and I always think, well, if this were the old days, you could fight anybody of any size, right? I mean, it was one weight class, and I always think looking at him, I'm like, that is one dude. I would. I don't know how much money you have to pay me to get in the ring with Tom Erickson. I mean, holy crap, he's just so violent in his fight. You should check him out on YouTube after this. He's crazy.
I will.
Yeah, big cat. Okay, so 99, you win the Hodge Trophy, and then you make the decision to go to freestyle. Was there any desire to do anything else at that point, whether it's football or get a regular job, or mixed martial arts wasn't really a thing in 99, was it?
It was just starting to get there. But yeah, I was always wanting to play football. I thought I could do it. I just needed opportunity. But the path I had thought in my mind is I'm going to go 99. I'm going to try to win the World Championships.
Yep.
Then in 2000, I'm going to try to win the Olympics. And then after that, I'm going to use that as a springboard and try to go and play NFL.
Oh,
and
nice.
So that was what I had thought. And then if that didn't work out, I was thinking, you know what, I wouldn't mind trying MMA just because I always believe, when you're 50 years old looking back saying, oh, I could have done that, you sound like an idiot. But if you get the opportunity to try it, then you know for sure. So that's kind of how I approached football. Like I really thought I could do it. And if I got an opportunity, I want to try it.
Yeah.
Same thing with MMA. If I had an opportunity, I would have tried it if I didn't have the football deal.
Yeah.
And then after football, it's like, I'm not going to go out there and get beat down. I have nothing left in my body. So, but I always dreamed that after football got done, I'd have enough left in my body that I could go back and wrestle. But I just didn't have anything left to give.
Think about what a marquee event you versus Brock Lesnar rematch would have been in mixed martial arts.
Oh yeah, that could have been big. Unfortunately, well, his body's pretty beat up too. But I got nothing left.
Yeah.
So
dang.
I don't believe in going out there just. I don't know. There's some guys in MMA, as you probably have seen. They have a really strong jaw, and their hope is the guy breaks his hand on their jaw, and it's like, man, that's not the kind of fight I want. I want to have a good chance to win. Yeah. Before I step out there.
I was thinking you were gonna say more some of the old guys that just go out to collect a paycheck. Like their heart's not really in it anymore, and they don't have anything else they want to do in their life, and they can go collect a paycheck. And hey, maybe they win. Sometimes they get beat up, and they just take a paycheck, and that's their job. And that was like, obviously I recently retired again. It's like, well, when I retired the first time, I was like, well, I'm coming back if I can prove I'm the best in the world. And if I'm not doing that, then I'm done, right? If I can't really do that, then I'm out. I don't want to be one of these guys who collects a paycheck and wins 50% of the time for the next 5 years.
Yeah, I without saying names, there's a lot of guys out there like that. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's kind of sad, but it's kind of like, man, you're going to take an opportunity away from these younger guys that really want to go out there and perform. And I think in sports, having someone go out there and perform and put on a show, and that's what I love to do. Wrestling. I want to go out there. I don't want to just win 3-2, which I did in my last college match. But I want to go out there and I want to dominate, and I want to, show the moves I can do and put on a show. And it probably goes back to in high school. And even in college, we didn't have the biggest fans. So when you get 16,000 people, cheering at nationals, it's like, hey, let's go. Let's show these people what we can do and put on a show. So in football, you never have to worry about fans. They're always there. So that's cool.
Well,
in fighting, you definitely want to put on a show, I think. And you always did that, man. It was fun watching you. Getting after it, funky, winning the way you know how to do.
Did you see the UFC they did a replay of UFC 239 where I got knocked out last Saturday? It was highly annoying. I had to relive it. Everyone's tweeting me about it.
Yeah, well, you make people mad, certain people mad, and they're like, okay, we got one on them. Let's rub it in. So but I think you caused those guys a lot of frustration, which is good in a good way, because you're like, hey man, I'm the best, give me a chance, and they gave it to you and you came through multiple times. So
so let's get back to your 99 world title run, because I think for most people it was fairly improbable. A guy who hasn't been on the scene before. It kind of actually for me is a little bit reminiscent of Jordan Burroughs, right, when he did it in 2011. No one really expected that out of him, and so I'm venturing to guess, I've talked to you for 30 minutes, you're going to say that you totally expected it to happen. I think that's what's going to come out. But what was your feeling going to the World Championships as kind of an untested competitor for the United States?
Well, I felt pretty good. So I wrestled Kerry McCoy, and they talk a lot about Kerry Colott, and he got screwed a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Kerry McCoy, I believe he beat the Cuban in the semis in 1998.
Yeah.
He was at his hotel. They called him and said, hey, we rescored the match, you lost. And so I knew by beating Kerry, I had a good chance to be successful. Anytime the Americans out there, they're usually pretty good. So I beat him, and then I wrestled the Cuban in the Pan Am Games in Canada, in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
And they were telling me, hey, don't let him underhook you. So we start out wrestling. I take him down. I'm like, I got this guy. Throws an underhook, 3 points. Another. So it's 6-1, and I'm looking at the corner, and they're like, we told you no underhooks. I got a takedown before the first period ended, and then I was able to just use my conditioning and attacking him. I was able to beat him, and he was exhausted. So right then I had a game plan of these international guys aren't in the kind of condition that the Americans are, that I am.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to be like Elf. Remember the show Elf in the elevator?
Yeah, of course.
It's like all the buttons. I'm going to score a bunch of points, and let's see who ends up on top. That was my thought going in to the World Championships, because I knew my conditioning was good.
Yeah.
And then I went out there and was able to put points on the board. And then against the Russian, I knew he'd get tired. I thought I'd be able to finish on the first shot I took, but I shot in there. I had the ankle and I kind of stopped, and then I got behind, but I was able to come from behind in the second period because of conditioning, I believe.
Yeah. I was looking for, it was Alexis Rodriguez. That was the Cuban, correct? The one you're talking about? I was looking for that match on YouTube last night, and I could not find it, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a really good match. I'm not sure where it would be. I don't think I have it.
Yeah.
If I do, it's on a VHS somewhere, which...
Damn it.
Those are so hard to connect to TVs now, man.
Yeah.
So that was a really fun match. I know it was recorded. USA Wrestling was recording it up there. But it's out there somewhere. But that was a really fun match. It was... definitely back and forth. Yeah. First period was him, and second period I was able to come alive. Yeah. We were both exhausted at the end.
Yeah, I know I watched the match, so I don't know where it would have been. Obviously, the internet. It wasn't on the internet in 1999. It was maybe ESPN showed a replay or something, but I remember seeing the match.
Yeah, ESPN showed the Pan Am Games, and they showed a wrestling section of it.
Yeah.
So
nice.
It was fun.
Oh, okay. So let's go. I guess let's go to the following year. And this is, probably one of your big disappointments, and then obviously you make your way into football. I was there, 2000 Olympic Trials, Dallas, Texas, and obviously Kerry was always a really high-level competitor and continued to be after that. You came up a little bit short. Where does that, how does the memory of that feel for you all these years later?
It still hurts, but I think had it gone differently, I don't know if my life would have worked out the way it did. So yeah. I'm grateful for that experience. It also taught me to, and I learned later in my next career, the value of scouting and film work and all that kind of stuff. Because Kerry had never gotten a leg lace on me before. A lot of times he would try it. Every time he tried it, I was able to weasel out and actually score points on him a lot of times.
Yeah.
He locked that sucker up tight that weekend. And I remember I could barely walk for 2 weeks because all the ankles ligaments were spinning and everything. But just got to appreciate the fact that because of that weekend, my life turned a different way. So I kind of look at Lesnar when he went into NFL, because he tried to go to the NFL for a little bit.
I remember that. For the Vikings,
he had such hype
right?
behind his name, they didn't allow him to develop. They wanted to see him right away. So had everything worked out differently, I might not have had the couple years to learn that I was able to get by not going to the Olympics.
Oh, you mean you think they would have tried to push you to be a starter faster, or?
Well, I don't think the upper level, like the Patriots wouldn't have, but it's the fan base.
Sure,
so if you have a big name, the fan base is like, we want to see Lesnar. Why isn't he out there? Like, we don't want to answer those questions every week. We're moving on. So I think he probably could have played if he didn't have that big name behind him.
Really?
Hindsight.
You think that's how the front office treats it?
Well, I think the coaches get tired of answering questions, and it's like, this could work, but it's going to take forever. And we don't want to deal in 30 minutes a day answering these questions. We're moving on. So.
Wow. Yeah, I never even considered it. I never considered it like that. That's funny that the way you put that. Wow.
Well, I mean, you got to think. They got to talk to the media every single day, and they keep asking the same question. It's like, I don't want to hear this question anymore.
Damn, right? That's brutal, isn't it?
But the thing is, there's so many guys out there. Let's just bring someone else in. It's not like they had to teach me so much. And if it was every day asking questions, they would have said, hey, we're done with this.
Yeah. So because you signed with them and you were there with them for what, 2 years before you became a starter? Is that correct?
So I signed with them in 2001.
Okay.
And I made it through 3 weeks of training camp to the third game.
Yeah. And
they brought me in the office, Scott Pioli and Belichick, and they're like, hey, Steve, we love everything about you except for you don't know how to play football.
Damn it.
So they said, we're going to let you go, but we want to bring you back next year to teach you how to play. I said, oh, great.
Okay.
So I got turned in my playbook. They sent me home to California, and then my agent called up, that was a chance meeting too back then. But anyways, he says, hey, the Eagles are looking at you. They'd like to bring you in and put you on practice squad. Okay. So the Eagles had heard my name because Chuck Bednarik, who's a huge football legend, who is a Lehigh guy, he had told them he thought I could play both ways like him a couple years before. Coach Strobel had put us on the phone. We were talking for a little while in Colorado Springs. Anyways, they bring me in. I'm on practice squad for 12 weeks. I'm working out with the University of Pennsylvania wrestling team. Coach Roger Reyna was coaching back then. Mm-hmm. He's back now. And then we were actually at a Christmas party at his house, and my agent called and said that the Patriots want to sign you back to the active roster to secure your rights for next year. Like, I wasn't going to play or anything, and I was thinking, I kind of like being here in Philadelphia. I got a wrestling team. These coaches are nice. The Patriots are a little bit mean. And he says, you got to do this. You don't understand. It's for the next year. Like, all these benefits are going to be there. It's really important that you go back.
Because then you're going to get a league minimum or something, correct?
So I got the league minimum for the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
Which jumps you up from the practice squad scope. But then next year I'd be a second-year player instead of a first.
Oh, wow, nice.
And then stuff for retirement, all that kind of stuff. So all this stuff, it made sense, but I was like, well, I don't even know if it's going to work out or not. I want to keep wrestling. Anyways, I go back up there, and then that's the year that they won the first Super Bowl. So I didn't play a snap that year. I got to practice with the team like the last 4 weeks of the regular season, then the playoffs, and then we went on and won the Super Bowl down against the Rams. So Here I am, a wrestler, never played it down in the regular season, and they're giving me a Super Bowl ring. So it's like, wow,
yes,
it's crazy. Like, you got to earn these things in wrestling. Only one guy gets it, not the whole team. So it's pretty crazy start to my football career.
So then I guess the next year you learn how to play football?
Yeah, so I'd actually learned quite a bit going through practice, just sitting back, observing what's going on, and then learning the techniques. So when I got back there and I started practicing with them, I had come so much further than before. For example, in wrestling, you drill, right? You don't drill 100%.
Yeah.
You just drill. You get it. I mean, you're going through the motions 100%, but you're not banging people, snapping heads, choking them. And then when you're wrestling live, you're going 100%.
Yeah.
So in football, they have full pads. That's kind of like 100%, but you're not supposed to hit the ground. Then you have shells, which is kind of really fast. It's kind of like a really like speed drilling kind of,
Yeah.
and then there's walkthrough, which is kind of just warm up drilling.
Yeah.
So like I didn't understand all these different modes of their practice, so it took me a while because at first they put on full pads and I'm going like I'm playing in the game, and they're like, "You got to calm down. Someone's got to." So it's just kind of learning those kind of things. It took me a while, but then once I got that figured out, then they taught me what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. They kept me around, and then watching all the film and understanding, what they're doing situationally, why they're doing it, that kind of stuff took a while, but it took me a few years to learn all that stuff, but
Nice.
still, it was fun when it all came out.
And so you ended up making the Pro Bowl 3 times, correct?
Never made the Pro Bowl.
Oh, you did? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Dang, really? I thought you did.
Yeah. No.
Man.
You got to be healthy to make the Pro Bowl. I was always hurt.
Okay. All right. Well, so you won 3 Super Bowl rings. I thought you made a Pro Bowl. My mistake. Okay, let's go. I'm going to get you out of here. Let's go. Favorite Bill Belichick story?
Oh, man. Favorite story from Coach Belichick. Oh, man. Got me on the spot here.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, well, I guess I could say, so after my 9th year, the season gets done. We lose in the playoffs at home it's a wild card weekend to the Ravens. So I was talking about never losing, or never winning during the wild card week. Well, we lost that one, and he wants me to come into his office, and I'm like, oh shoot. And I was kind of contemplating being done because this is my 9th year, and I was beat up pretty good at that point in time, and just walking in his office, and it was the first time I walked into that office, the new stadium, and just kind of looked at him and said, "Hey, Coach, just want to let you know it's my first time walking in your office." And he's like, "What, really? You haven't been in here?" I said, "No, with all due respect, I kind of have treated you like the principal. I didn't want to be it because it's a bad thing, And he just kind of laughed, and we had a good conversation about take your time, just think, let your body heal, and then think about a decision. He's like, I really appreciate what you do for our team. You don't care about your own accolades. You care about putting the team first, which is one of his main things.
Yeah.
And I think that really helped me because the sport of wrestling, it's about putting yourself first for the most part.
Yeah.
And then that benefits your team. But in football, you got a role to do. And that's the things he really ingrained in all of us is put the team first, do your job, do your job well, all these type of things that make a good environment. And so just kind of being in his office, let him know that I thought of it as a principal office, and he got a kick out of that. But I really appreciated him because every single time we had a competition, we were prepared.
Yeah.
And I can't say that that's probably happens for most of the other players in the NFL, not on the Patriots. So
yeah. Nice.
Appreciate him.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your time.
Sorry.
What'd you say?
Not great story, but
it's all good. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we let you go? Any other stories, questions, comments, anything?
Well, how about did you figure out the state of wrestling? Are they going to give the guys a year back yet, or?
I haven't been on Twitter since we got on the interview. I did not see it prior though. I saw a few coaches tweeting about it. I'll just scroll through my Twitter real fast. I don't follow that many people, so nope, there is no news about it, unfortunately. So yeah, I like we talked about Friday, I'm very split because it's going to be such a difficult dynamic. I think the right answer is probably yes, you do give them an extra year, but man, that creates a whole bunch of really troublesome things for college coaches to figure out how to allot their scholarships for the next couple of years, because most college coaches are, seniors and then juniors in high school. They've already said, we're going to offer you this amount of money. So now everyone's going to have an extra year, right? So now you're going to have 2 years where you're trying to jam all the scholarship in. I don't have to deal with it. I'm not a college coach, so I guess I just hope they give them the extra year. But I know it'll come with difficulties.
Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, it's definitely different times right now. So
yeah,
crazy. I guess our last thing is, man, these shirts from RUDIS are so comfortable.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I'll tell you a funny story. So my son, he's 2 years old right now. And he's got a really obsessive personality, but he thinks either AWA, which that's a wrestling club, or RUDIS, those mean they're a wrestling shirt. And if I get up in the morning and I don't have either a RUDIS shirt on or an AWA, which almost all my AWA shirts are RUDIS, so I think except for maybe a few old ones, he'll say, no, Daddy, wrestling shirt. Daddy, put a wrestling shirt on. And he'll demand that I put a wrestling shirt on, which by definition is this or this. Then if we go see anybody else, they're only a wrestling guy if they have one of those things on them. So like if we went and saw my brother and he had some other shirt on, he wouldn't be a wrestling guy. You'll say, hey, is that a wrestling guy? That not wrestling guy.
He identifies him correctly, that's for sure. That's good.
Yeah. So, okay, I appreciate it. This is a lot of fun for me. Hope you guys stay safe and stay quarantined. And hopefully I'll see you around at some wrestling stuff soon.
Sounds good. It's a great time. Had a lot of fun. And good luck with disc golf. Get that course all built up. And
you got it.
Isolating, slinging them.
You got it. Thanks a lot, Stephen. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
All right. You heard it from Stephen himself. That was... Man, that was a fun interview. It's very few and far between where you get to really interview people who are your heroes, which he was one of my favorite wrestlers back when I was in high school. So that was awesome to get to chat with him about all kinds of different topics. It's funny listening to his perspective since mine was so different. I really did one thing from an older age, and he played so many different sports, and obviously even as an adult wrestled and then went and changed and played football and had so much success. So hope you guys enjoyed On Deck. Hope you're staying safe at home. Hope the coronavirus isn't bothering you guys too much. I'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.